God's sake, thank God for you, Sick. Why does nobody, Mobbin, you did as well, thank you. Why did nobody else say? I do introductions and shit for a reason. You're making me look worse than I act. No, I'm making myself look bad. Don't blame other people for your mistakes. Pinkavelli has had a bit of a mistake into the gap. Apologies for that. I am so sorry. I will say hello to everybody after this race. I've been saying I'm sharing the stream and all of that sort of stuff. Jesus Christ, why didn't anybody say first? I missed it. I'm so sorry, Butch. You're good too, you get a thumbs up. Everybody else, you've let me down. Pinkavelli collecting some nice brake boosts over the curb, shortening that gap up on official there. Raza is leading the way, but I do expect that gap to shorten. Pinky collecting the brake boost, misses the second one. Guys coming in close to the edge there. Brake boost on landing as well from Pinky. Raza still holding that lead. 101.191. Best lap so far to the 102s from official and Pinky. Kino a little further back at the moment with the 109.010. But anything can happen on this track. There's barrier smashes. There's a tube exit to play around with. There is Pinky going in for it. He's got it nice and clean on the landing. Seems to be very little slide through the corner. He's shifting the car around aggressively, and it's nice and through. I've looked back down at my phone to arrange it all. We're going to stick with Pinky on his track here. The 55.655 to the 57s and 0.5s and 58, 57 as well, coming in from Kino. And Butch, like I say, I'll take it all back from yourself, sir. You did me proud. I'd missed that comment. I was blind to it. Sharing the stream. Got back into saying hello to everybody. Poor streamer etiquette. Pinky has smashed that out. Had a bit of a wonky start, but he's pulled back into first. Really nice. That is going to make it nice and tight off the bat though. 15 points plus 8 to Kino and Pinky to 12 plus 10. Takes it to 22 points. Tom and Jerry to 23 points in FORZA's favour. So just a point between the two. Hello, Born. And again, right, let's quickly run through these comments. Apologies for that, Butch. Like I say, you fully get the apologies from myself. You can see it as the third comment there. Persona, my guy. Hello, first comment. Second forever, second from Butch. Hello, my man. We've got Pinky, we've got Rezkio, we've got Alex. Everybody wishing luck. Crayon, Rezkio, Fox, we can't hear you. And same from Sick. Best of luck all. Muted or allowed to be shared. Alex said it as well. Jesus Christ, I missed it. Or was that a bit further on? Oh, I'm slacking. Right, the tracks are Trench 2. That was Pinky's and Kino's. Sun C and Chicane's is gonna be from Raza and Tom. We've got official. We've got Maze, Bankersen and Vespucci as well. Whew. So, Trench 2, Sun C and Chicane's. Pires, Mazebank, Gauntlet, Vespucci into Higher Love is the running order. Sat with Raza. But this is, I have to say, my favourite from the new selection of tracks. Really like the flow of the track. Hello, Randos. And then Holy, how you going? He pulled it back as well, Alex. He choked a bit further in. Razza, really good start again, pushing really nice and hard. Kino maybe coming off the barrier early. We're going to sit with Pinky again. Official and Razza leading the way. We're going to see three of the racers here. Kino just falling that little touch further behind. Maybe an early barrier catching him out. Maybe he's not quite tried these tracks a lot yet. Surely come across and giving them a little run though. Goldie on the back of the plate from Pinky, coming across the curbs. Tom, well, Official and Razza holding their distance, clean as you like. All of them missing the barrier ride you can take there. Official did unfortunately collect the gap, but that does only take him down to third, a little bit closer to Kino now. Points at the moment still in the favour of himself and Razza. Yet higher love is the custom track for this event. I think with the guys, they have only chosen Rockstar themselves, and then the custom being their custom. Coming through the corner, but they hadn't given each other their tracks. Pinky gave up his tracks last night. Razza and Official didn't see the message until today and gave up their tracks when they did. Razza literally got back from work about an hour ago, maybe. Official had his dinner in preparation, a bit of food. As it is leading the way, Official still got third. Kino's lost some time again. Some ways a long way back. No big cuts either to gain the time back on, so Kino maybe a little bit stuck. He is coming down the straight. Pinky running nice and wide towards the edge of the track there. Ryan just really clean ahead, managing the throttle control on the car really nicely, extending his lead. Bit of a slide on the braking point that has allowed Pinky to come through, but Ryan's exit speed with the slide has been able to be picked up quickly as he's just straight back on the full power through the corner. Then you can see the gap developing to not much lower than where it was. If we're just coming around onto the straight as well, we see lap times of a 1:23.889 to the 24.252. Official with the 27, just being nice and careful, keeping himself ahead of Kino, playing it nice and wisely. Hello, Fox Track, my guy. Hope you're doing very well, fella. Kino, maybe, clearly not having tried the tracks at all, only just getting himself down to the 1:30 there. It's still not a bad time. Certainly not for his potential first go at the track, but I would have assumed he might have given the new tracks a go. Fox Track, it was nice to see you on your PS5. That was looking crisp and clean earlier on, fella. I hope you get used to it quickly and start to see some of your times coming down again. Through the corner nicely, the gap it appears to have maintained so far. Sorry team watching, thank you all so much for coming along and watching. Didn't glance down there. This could potentially tie it all up if positions stay the way they are. Ryan's making it through the final corner nice and clean. So that is a plus of 15 plus 12 over here. Official did have, looked like he was maybe waiting there for Kino to make sure there was no DNF opportunities, unless he did come off the barrier. He was stopped in the middle of the track. That is going to see the points level up. Isn't it? What have I done here? $47 plus 8 equals 43. Where have I made a mistake? Hold on 1 second, let me reset my calculators. Oh, it's because, no, I had it right. Hold on, there we go. Plus. Plus 10, so it is 47 Tom and Jerry to 43 from Keno and Pinky. Forza, thank you very much there, Mobbin. Well, to be fair, is the tracks were only swapped from Pinky's side about 10-11 o'clock last night as Tom went off to bed, and I don't think they saw the message. I messaged Tom and Razza on Instagram, and then they've let them know the tracks, and they've decided, oh shit, I've accidentally pressed my middle button rather than, why is it brought it up again, pressing that. That is a lag display in there. You can see Razza driving the wrong way up the track, but the tracks were just swapped very late. There has been no sweating, I can guarantee you, from anybody involved. Hey Chris, my man, how you going, fella? But it is like, I've done some of the arranging for this match. There's been very little communication between the two teams. Is Tom and Ryan initially last week let them know all the dates they were free and times and stuff, and then the match had to be cancelled due to work commitments from Keno. All understandable stuff, we get it, but it has just led to some delays. Oh, as a big slide is going to head off the track. It is a Tom and Jerry, that is a and Razza v Keno and Pinkavelli. Yeah, that's right, as Forza. It's just trying to swap on up. It's taking a bit of a while. Hello, Trilsy, coming in with Garb Game. Oh, the person I went on spectate unfortunately lagged out. Is I think what we normally do in that situation is give them 4th place points rather than a DNF, but they do have the option to potentially replay the track. Unfortunately, coming through the corner, nice and clean, official holding the way, and that is Keno going to be sending an image showing the lag out. Yep. My internet quality is apparently having a wobble itself right now. Hopefully that will disappear quite quickly. Hello, Aldo. Oh, official ride, and he's look there a little bit. Oh, where's Pinky? He's really not too far back. He should be out of the tube. Nice and clean. Let's have to go to the store then. Pinky closing the gap with some really nice curb boosting there just before the tube. The gap has shrunk up slightly and shrinking more significantly towards the end. Official, unfortunately, has had to respawn. does see Official and Raza side by side, but I imagine Binkett will still be happy to go with the rematch. We will leave it until the end, I'm guessing, because it will leave it as a if it's necessary thing. And I'll keep the placements noted so I can add the scores at the end rather than during. So the scores after this match will stay the same on mine, I think is the way we'll do that. Or to give Kino the 8 points, like I say, and then work that out after. So I just need to see if Pinky finishes first. Nice and smooth. That was a really strong brake boost. He just got out of that loop as well. You could see the extension. Thank you very much, Critics, my man. It is so I've never... Oh, and Zombie in chat. You need to get chatting in the chat. I did try to instigate it. Didn't get too much response. Can only do so much. But I know we're a bit hot to do it. I know TJ had to get in contact with Scratcher, see what the lad's plan was. I think he has done wonderfully well to lead throughout there since. Unfortunate mistake from the official, just taking that tube a little bit too low. So I'm going to mark that down as rim. Second. That's it. So I will. Yeah, I'm going to keep that separate and I'll add that on after. So that is furious in case it ends up being replayed and that not being counted as our points. So I don't want to mess up my calculators. Yeah, it is a bit of a unfortunate issue occasionally. Unlucky Kino there, fella. But it seems fine sometimes, it's just occasionally it's just terrible to him and it kicks him. But like I say, Pinky, if it's needed at the end, we can replay that and we'll keep the points at the moment as they are. So it's 47 to Tom and Jerry, 43 to yourselves. And then I'll add these points on at the end. That's with the lag out and Kino being given the 8 points instead of DNF. So 3 points in it. So you shortened it by a point with the lag out. Depends how you want to play it. But Kino was looking alright in there. But it has always been a thing that lag outs, if it's necessary, to treat it the same as bricks. But if it's an important moment and cost the player list. Not properly. That's just without the lag out. So Mobbing's going to keep track of the scores. And then if it was close enough at the end that peer race would have put Forza ahead, then we can redo peer race. So Mobbing's going to keep track of the scores properly like that. His can be pinned. And I'll keep track again from here, just so I can carry on keeping track of the actual points after peer race, if that carries on at the end. And I forgot to change the camera angle, apologies for that, Raza. Just falling off the boost line ever so slightly. Pinky's had an early error but he's back up to pace, nice and quick, closing the gap through the air. You can see on the mini-map, Keno runs a little bit wide, but he's able to exit the corner really tightly, cleanly. Again, just running a little bit wider is going to enable him to carry the speed through the corner where he feels he can. Rather just passing straight underneath, and it appears to be a wise decision. Keno coming off it very, very harshly. It just seemed to hang on to the roof there and flick the car around. That was really unfortunate incident. Keno has fallen down to last. It does put Tom and Jerry in first and second, and as I say, unfortunately, Ryan does correct that wobble. Really nice. Official has fallen down to third, and big collision with that middle tube. Massive brick there, fucking huge, nicely controlled by Razza. We are going to pop back to Pinky. Unfortunately, it has a little slide around the corner, but I was just about to say, so we can see the fight develop. Really sorry for that there, Pinky, if in that anyway it was down to me. Hello, Dan and Nick Otts, how you going, fella? It shouldn't take too long. Barbacks, if you're watching, you just carry on, fella, or if anybody can message Barbacks and say just carry on with that, and we've got this going on. I'll join if it's done in time and such, but no, there's going to be plenty of people that can still keep their eye on this and that. But I can do it on my phone actually. Or I'll put, if he doesn't mind, is what I'll put, because I'd rather him do his own thing. The gap has shrunk up. Razza's still leading the way. Keno is up to third. Official just exiting the tube there. Respawn really not having done him any favours. Going underneath it really clean. You can see Razza has pulled away, had a nice clean landing. Nice and aggressive through the tube, pulling nice and clean. Got away with that slightly, wait, it looks a bit rough on my screen there. First laps we've seen a 1:54.081 to the 1:57.777 from Pinky. There'll be nothing coming up at the bottom of the screen this time for Pinky. He's through the corner really nice. And that is Barbacks just extending it out. Thank you very much, my man. And I was just about to message Beck. Thank you, lovely on the brakes. There we go. He has just changed the pre-lobby time to 11:45, race time 11:30. Appreciate that very much, Barbacks. Pinky appears to have had a really nice last bit of that tube, closed up very nice. And hello, Lana. Apologies, I think I've missed you coming in to the chat. I hope you're doing very well, everybody. Keno is holding third in a gap behind. It doesn't look too big. Official not in too much risk of a DNF. We've seen the 1:49.5 from Pinky. And thank you very much, Barbacks. Just messaging me back. I should have turned off my notifications again. Do keep forgetting to do that. Hello, Clem. Little honk of the horn from Razza. He's carrying his speed really nice through the corners. Pinky carrying it nicely. You're going to see the lads just extend out a little triple tap of the horn. So that's plus 15. That's all. I realised why the calculator hidden under everything. Plus 12 plus 10. That takes FORZA up to 65 on 9. Plus 8. 70. So 5 points in it. Mobbins will be that point difference and a little bit higher. We'll just be working that out. We're on 2 different calculations now. Mobbins is going to be the tagged one. Like I say, my point system in the background is now being... Yeah, he held it so nicely. Like, the way his car bucked up, like, the way he held that and managed to get off the throttle enough that it didn't kick out of all control, like... Well played, Raz. Lad, really well fucking played. You held your nerve tremendously well. That is without the key, well, with the Keno lag out. Like I say, that is our score, but like I say, if that's tight enough at the end that it needs or could be replayed, then we will potentially do that. We'll leave that down for the guys to sort out. That points potential loss. At the moment it's at 4 points, so Keno would have needed to get himself up to 12 seconds. So if they extend much more, everybody nice and clean. Look like official got a little bit of a curb boost off the bottom of the ramp, nice and tidy. Keno in second gets a really nice landing boost. Pinky and Razza really tight behind. Razza halfway inside Pinky's car, catching the curbs really nicely. Keno and official battling hard. Keno just shifting the car a little bit wider in the corner, letting himself get onto the curbs nice and aggressive. You can see official being that little bit smoother, a little bit safer over the curbs, and wisely so, as you see Pinky come off it hard. And that's why official being safer in this sort of lobby. It's always wise just let the car do the work. Oh, it's slightly higher than he'd like exit, but he's nice and safe onto the track. He's just fallen behind Razza through that tube. Razza had a really nice entry into the tube. Clearly went nice and tidy over the curb before. You can see the lag on Keno's car just sending him into the barrier a little bit. That'll be where we see the slightly heavier adjustments. I've not come across shreds in my cam. It's just really nice, clean tube lines. Pinky not able to see quite how far back yet. Tom just had to readjust the line ever so slightly, but gives us some wonderful flair with that barrel roll. Keno needed a character switch to stay on. He has done. It looked like he was maybe going too long rather than off the track, because he stayed quite true down the middle of the track. That has seen Razza and official pull up to first. In second place, carrying nice pace in through the stop strips. Like official a little bit later through it, did gain a touch time on his teammate there. As an official, just nice and smooth over the curbs, nice and clean. Keno has managed to get himself back up to speed nicely after that character switch and Saveroo. I know some people call it a bit cheaty. They do send us bad sport if we over spam it, but it is a mechanic they've put in the game, and it stops the car dead if you put the car in the correct angle in the air and have all 4 wheels on the track. It will just stop the car dead. It is a handy mechanic to learn, but like I say, do not overuse it. Use it for saves, occasional time gaining, hot lapping, but not much else. Lovely strong brake boost. Avoid the boost strip as well so it doesn't disrupt the revs you picked up with that lovely brake boost. Rather slightly tidier through that corner, has closed the gap, very aggressive over the curbs, nice and safe over the first part, aggressive, gets all four wheels as it puts himself into the lead. Official nice and tidy on the boost line, not having lost any more time literally since the pass. Really clean, lovely low exit from both. Raz is slightly further to the right. It is going to allow Official just straight down the middle to pull ahead. Oh, and again a lovely controlled brick from Official. Horrible to see, but the skill to actually get yourself off the throttle quick enough and correct the steering to hold it. Very nice stuff. Very, very good stuff from Official. But yeah, it's for one in racing, it's character switching too much. But yeah, if you abuse character switching a lot, it can get you banned. We've had it happen to Zombie and Gucci in sumo sessions, using it to push people up, but that's an excess. Like, they're using that like 13 to 15, 20 times a match in that. So that, like I say, that is excessive use. Doing it every few jobs shouldn't get you in too much trouble. I don't think like mobbing's had any issue character switching the loop when you've been at Cambridge, but you've spent like hours at a time hot lapping downtown loop, double loop mobbing, and never had an issue with that character switch through the loop. Do you know what I mean? So it's just about the way to do it. Sumo clearly using it that many times in such a short span. Whereas you doing it over the course of 4 or 5 hours didn't get you in any issue. Official and Raza did play it safe over that final ramp skip. We see times of a 2:51.989 from Raza, really nice and clean. To the 53, 2:56 from Keynote just coming across, and we see Binky, I think, a little way back. 2020 is at the level of Keynote, very nice. You just need to get, I think I saw somebody else saying that earlier in the chat, saying that you just need one more level to get to our year. Really good clean stuff. I'm just going to stick here because it's, the guys have the lead at the moment, and it's just putting the pressure, letting Pinky and Keynote settle in. This was their track selection. The guys are pushing them very hard. Some nasty incidents. We'll have a little glance back at the stream, I think. Which bit of that barrier Pinky did hit. It was the flat bit, technically that was the brick. That will again be down to the guys, but that brick was repaid with the brick Official suffered, I guess. Correcting that spin really nicely in the air. That was a lovely tube exit from Official. Raza 2, just bringing the car out nice and clean, leads the way. Walking to each other, just keep it nice and calm. flapping up Vaughan's comment there. 2021, I really thought it was still 1987. Lovely casual as well, making sure no risk of the brick, and again wisely playing it safe. This is going to be a big points game. Honk of the horn. You know, the line is not too far back. Not sure there's quite enough time for them to make it across. Oh, let Mobbin do the scores again. 6 and 4 points for Keno. And Pinky. Fucking hell, Pinky. 7 bricks. I did catch the first one, I double checked, it was on stream, it was the flat part of the barrier, Pinky. You are more than welcome to request a replay on that track too. But as things stand on my scoreboard, it's 97 to 75. The DNF scores for 79, sorry. It's going to be obviously high on Robin's 98 FORZA. 119 for Tom and Jerry, I believe, is the way it stands. Albert Martin V2. Got no restarts. I unfortunately didn't get to see your 2v2, Tyrese, really. But that is something normally down to you to bring up if it's been noticed on stream, then talk about it with your opposition. Raza and Official are leading the way. Good lead at the moment. Raza just easing his way through the corner, getting himself over the curbs. Really nice and tidy. Nick, you got beat by an over. Ryan is leading the way, nice and tidy as we head down the straight. Keno has managed to pick up the pace a little bit. Pinky didn't fall just a touch behind off the start. Maybe not quite as comfortable. And top of the horn as he pulls himself through the corner. We'll stick with Raza for just now. Keno does come by, getting some good strong brake boosts. Raza has stopped that little bit of time gain from Keno and starts gaining back himself. He's literally on the cheek of Keno. And yeah, that's why I do leave it down to racer discussion, because there was bricks. There have been bricks on both sides, so if they end up feeling it's fair, or they fancy replaying the tracks that they did brick on, that is up to them. Bjorn, having never lost a 2v2, comes on through really clean, the brake boosting, never in a doubt there from Raza. Massive tyre squeal We are going to move back a touch. We're going to go sit. Kino's just fallen back. Normally a little bit laggy. They've got a slightly more comfortable position points wise as well, so I am going to keep the pressure on Tom and Jerry for now. You can see Razza now. We can hear Kino and Pinky's engines not too far behind official there. And no, Ty, you didn't seem to put up much argument about your bricks. You did just accept it and let it go. As far as I'm aware, anyway. Really clean through the corners. They are holding position. Kino coming back nice and strong. Pinky's lost a big amount of time on that first section again. Kino running, oh, it was lag, running in so wide through that section. Again, taking half of the car or more over. Nope, you can't stop bricks, man. I literally suffer them almost every race. I just need to get used to it. Get used to positioning my car in the right places, not hitting certain barriers. I won't be getting involved in no face-to-face tournaments. Next tournament I am involved with at the moment appears to be the GTA World Championships. That's not a stunt tournament, that is all categories as racing. There is still a bit of space if you do have any interest, as Kino unfortunately literally blinked out of existence in front of official's car there. He did have a second place. Kino's connection wreaking havoc with him tonight. As with the way my internet's been, I feel lucky to have managed to stay connected for so long. And Kino just messaging again. You can really feel that frustration building. He had got himself up into second. Official no slouch, may have got the position back. No, saying he wouldn't have done at all. Really unfortunate positions. He was in the battle as well on the previous lag out. Would it only last 4 hours, or would somebody block the track in multiple positions? Multiple people block the tracks in multiple positions and just stop it in race 1. It's all nice and clean through tunnel. You never know, Viper the man himself may end up hosting that sort of stuff himself. He likes his face-to-faces. I'm not so much a face-to-face fan. Realistically, I'm not going to be attending too many of them. No traction at all from a Pinky. Mobbing is just going to total that up again. I'm going to leave my calculators where they stand at the moment, just in case. But they have got a big lead. And like I say, I'm letting Mobbin keep track of the scores as they stand, and then I'm keeping the score just in case of replayed tracks at the moment. But, so, let me go up. I've got to... Yeah. Mobbin. That was the rule. Lag out would be 8 points rather than DNS, so it's just last place. But they, like I say, if they do agree to restart, or it's close enough and stuff, it is looking a big difference at the moment. Pinky getting random speed boosts at the edge of those ramps as well, sending the car a little bit wonky. This is Higher Love, is the final race of the actual playlist, and then I will stick around with the stream and stuff. Is 144 to 118 with the Kino lag outs and the Pinky bricks. There was the couple of bricks that were rode by Ryan and Official while they were in first and second places. Could have affected their races. They were able to hold the car and it's slightly more fortuitous positions on the placement of the bricks maybe. Great start from Kino, pulls himself straight up into second or third. Pinky going really wide into the barrier, but it is just lag. Worried for Pinky now. We've not seen him lagging like this. His internet playing a bit of havoc with the positioning of his car as Kino just shifts in front of Ryan, momentarily takes himself down to the track nice and early. It's Official battling with a very laggy, flyy Pinky. And now Kino looking to get back on to the edge of it. Ryan on that boost line, really nice and strong. See the time he's gained on Kino initially. Kino got himself back onto the right line for the second part of Tube. Early loop from Ryan, carries himself across the gap. It's a little bit short. Very unfortunate. Really nice boost line early on, closed in some good distance on Pinky. Pinky's internet appears to have smoothed out. Kino shifting into first momentarily at the bottom of the tube. It's Official with a lovely exit line. Goes into first, nice and easy onto that tube, although Pinky taking all sorts of risks going in at full speed. Yeah, they'll stay the final scores if they agree it's out of reach and all that sort of stuff, or not got time. Official again, the tube exit gives him a nice lead, a lovely tap of the horn. I think I heard a tap of the horn anyway, it could just be my ears. As he's falling a little way behind that respawning point that he hit, takes a lot of time off. With the fact you go all the way through that tube exit and then, oh, fish off the barrier and an explosion as well. Really, really unfortunate timing there. It just came off the barrier. That does take Official down to third. Pinky as well came off the barrier too. He's managed to hold it though, but he is only just ahead there of Official. Kino has got the lead. he goes underneath the platform. He's going to be back there with Ryan now. Ryan may have even picked up a slight amount of time with the barrier ride or whatever. Maybe he had the same issue as official. Got a slightly quicker respawn maybe with the explosion. Nice clean ramp split landed nicely, nice and tidy. Keno's had a bit of an issue with it. That's a place that it seems to have a bit of an issue with the V8 entering the tube sometimes. Take it a little bit too aggressively, get the nose caught in the prop. Does see the brick into it official taking it nice and wisely, taking the actual corner. Look like Keno's had an issue with the bottom. He's got hung up between the curb and the tube. This is a Mikey track. I can't pronounce the second name, unfortunately, but I really like the flow of this track. There are, like I say, a couple of places that appear to have slight brick issues, that tube being one that Keno just got caught out in, and the entry to the final tube can be a little bit off. Hello, Rainbows! Official leading the way, 235, coming down at all. It stays the same with the respawn, the respawn at the beginning. Keeps away from the barrier this time, goes for the brake boost, didn't see the extended tyre mark this time. Hey Luke, my man, how you going, fella? Lovely, stylish exit from official as well, gets the barrel roll off nice and clean, lovely brake boosting into the tube. The lad's confidence finally having settled in on the track a little bit, loops the tube line. Not seen that line myself too often. Comes through the tube, barrel rolling again, big risk, gets the nose pulled up just enough. It's nice and clean. Luke go away from Tyrese a little bit harsh, laddo. He's only just showed up. He's the leader of my crew, and your crew. Oh, managing to just pull the nose up enough that there was no massive brick. That was not looking good. Managing to shift the car around in the air nice and cleanly. Pulled through it in at the end. The Villas France from Rainbows. I am English myself. Rescue desperate for the tracks. Into the tube, carrying at the speed, nice and tidy. He's got a big lead. Does have the best lap at the moment. The 45 did come down to a 40. And a 35 from Pinky, battling with Keno, who has fallen a little further back. Whereas taking the line and fight to him. Looks like official is and should come home in first. Raz's just had to respawn. We were just going to shift on to Razza. Give us a little bit of talking time. We'll let the guys chat in their chat. I'll keep my eye on that. Pinky. That is a first and a last, I believe. Unless Razza has any more issues with this tube, he should have a time to finish. It doesn't look like the guy's too far ahead, only just going through the corner. And that is a lovely tube exit there from Rather. Really nice and clean. I believe they would have needed the DNF for sure on the point enough. It's a big point shift early on. Pinky just popping up with ramen noodles. The farce from official. With the late arrangement. Now that is the points as they are standing. Kino did have the couple of lag outs. He has been awarded a 4th place, not DNS for them. But the points difference is quite big. It'll take 2 DNS, so it is just down to a little chat. Yeah, it is quite a bricky track. Ryan clearly having gone through a few on that one, he has come away with the playlist win. Tom and Jerry potentially here with a victory, 167 to 140. I will just keep a rough eye on the chat, see if any messages pop up on the corner of the screen. I think he doesn't seem to be putting up any arguments here in the YouTube chat. I don't see anything coming in from Kino. And such. I don't want to bring up too many blue screens. Ryan, yeah, it's getting pretty late for official. I know, up early for work. Ryan suffering with hay fever. Like I say, I'm not seeing any chat come in. I will have a quick look at the messages just to make sure. The rules. So if that is the way stands, we will, I guess, announce the scores at. There we go. There's been a lot of chat since, and I forgot to mark it up. 167. Tom and Jerry to 140 from FORZA. There was a couple of lag outs from Keynote that cost him a couple of positions, and the bricks from Pinky. It's been a strong performance from likes of Raza. Official Keynote, the GG's guys being offered across from Raza. Give it another, I'll give it till 20 past, so it gives him another couple of minutes to have a little chat. Rather has just posted GG, so it would be prime time for anybody to speak up if they're not happy. If it isn't American Sip got lucky. He's a hillbilly, he's a different breed. That's sexist from Bobby. Oh, let me check these messages for the final time. It's just we will keep the score. I don't think so, Mobbin. There's nothing coming in the PlayStation chat. Pinky offered across with no other conversation, the GGs. And there we go. Pinky saying in the chat, I'd say Ryan won fair and square. Keno a little bit unfortunate on the lag outs, but he does understand that they were nice and strong today. And we did, like I say, is like he was in second on both. We did award him the 8 points, so he only lost 4 points rather than the 8 overall. There is Pinky just double checking. Official has got work, and as Harry's again pointing out, Ryan is ill. And as well, like I say, he got back from work about 2 hours ago, has done an hour's worth of racing, and he probably could do with getting a bite to eat. Pinky is just double checking. I think overall there was the couple of bricks ridden nicely from Official and Razza, who both had a big significant incident each. They did get maybe a touch lucky, used their skill nicely. Lucky in the placement of where the brick happens, in the sense they gave them the time to correct the brick, whereas Pinky smashing into that barrier didn't. But then as he fell back further through the order, had a few more bricks and such. But I guess for now it is getting quite late. We do have Barbax's coming up. In fact, what I'll do on stream is I'll start joining him. If nobody else is streaming it, I will start up another stream and stream it. But we'll get ready to do a little bit of racing myself. I imagine that somebody should be streaming. I am joining Barbax. Right, let me double check. Still just the I'm good if not. Looks like Keno seems happy with it for now. I guess we can update you if there is anything that does change in that. But for now, the scores are, as it stands, 167 to 140 in Tom and Jerry's favour. They do progress through to the next round as things stand, and massive congratulations to themselves. Unlucky to yourself, Pinky and Keno, on this occasion. FORZA are going to fall into the losers bracket. It is more of a soft losers bracket. If you fancy playing anybody else in the losers bracket, give them a shout, stick them in a message, and if it matches up, yeah, that could work potentially, but we'll let that all work out. But massive GGs, thank you all very much for tuning in. I will double check on the old YouTube to see if anybody is potentially streaming this. I'm the only one streaming. Who's attending the playlist? That might. Alex, are you attending? Is Jack attending? Who's potentially attending that may do a stream? Shout up in my chat so I can turn mine off. There is a playlist hosted by Iron Man in about 7 minutes, Tunser. Let me have a look at the lobby list. Oh, I'm just chatting to myself here. I'm not sure there is anybody in the lobby that will stream at the moment. Alright then guys, give me 5 minutes, I'll set up a stream and a party and I'll be back with you. Hello Aaron, again my man, great stream bud, thank you very much. And I'll see you all in about 3, 4, 5 minutes. Thank you and goodbye. Okay, Alex is streaming. Get on Alex and stream it, save me